Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Libris. I know it's been a while without any new episodes, but I was rather busy, and besides that I'm in a bit of a reading slump. No worries, it's not a complete reader's block. I read every day, but I'm co-reading a rather big book, but a great book. I'm reading Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, and it's it's going to take a long since I don't have the time to read as much as I would like to, and it's going to be slow. Of course, I think it's a good book to be read slowly, and so that you can take in the language of Dickens and think about the people, the era, and the morality of this era. But that's not for now. That's for when I will finish and present this book to you. Of course, it's one of the great classic ones, so I don't think you need my opinion. I can safely say that you should read it. But in the past days, this was not the only book I've managed to read. I've managed also to read a graphic novel that will be much talked about this year, since it has been made into a movie picture. And we're talking about The Death of Stalin by Fabien Nury, and the illustration is Thierry Robin. And this is a graphic novel that attempts to represent the what followed the death of Joseph Stalin in 1953. It was a difficult era for the Soviet Union, and a difficult situation for the committee, the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. The whole affair of who should and how will succeed Joseph Stalin. Yeah, it is a graphic novel that it's not it is deeply political, since it describes not only the historic events, but it uses fantasy. Some of the events that are depicted are completely fantastical. They didn't happen in reality, but they serve their purpose. And the purpose of this graphic novel is to illustrate the irrationality of any totalitarian bureaucratic regime, such as was Stalin's regime. But it manages to convey an atmosphere of uncertainty, of fear, of decadence even, and it does it in such a way that it is humorous. Of course, it's black humor, it's bitter humor, but you can't help smiling if you thinking that the absurdity of the events that it describes. Of course, these events, it's not just a satire of the Soviet regime. What you can see there, all the patterns there, all the behaviors, I would say are common in any totalitarian bureaucratic regime. And in the modern world, many governments, even democratic governments, have acquired through their immense power and their bureaucracy, they have acquired totalitarian characteristics. It is often said and written in the press and discussed if voting matters, and I have seen this discussion held in many instances in many countries. So I think the the problems, let's say, the questions, the irrationality that this graphic novel presents us is still relevant today. Of course, not for necessarily a communist Stalinist regime, but maybe characteristics of those regimes still survive in our own governments, in our own countries, and that's why us citizens should always be on the lookout and demand democracy to be fully transparent and more or less implemented. So that goes for now. Sorry, this is just a short Ex Libris. I didn't have the time to read a lot more because of because of life, but because of work obligations and of course some personal project that I really wanted to progress and finish. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching this episode. See you in the next one. Bye bye.